Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a pivotal turning point for the American Civil War. The events at Gettysburg allowed the Union to gain ground and forced the Confederacy to keep the war south of the Mason-Dixon line. From July 1st to July 3rd in 1863, over 157,000 soldiers on both sides would step foot in the fields of Gettysburg. 51,000 of them would end up wounded, captured, or killed. What was once hallowed ground for thousands of young soldiers is now the site of a different type of war. Reenactments.
I consider these people the real cosplayers. You know, the furry convention kids, they're cool. I love what they're doing. But this is real LARPing. This is real live action role playing right here.
The history of reenactments at Gettysburg runs deep. It didn't begin as a theater for tourists. It began with the soldiers who had survived Gettysburg, returning to the hallowed grounds they once fought for. But it wasn't until 50 years after the battle when the first large-scale reenactment took place. 50,000 Union and Confederate soldiers convened to Gettysburg for the 1913 Gettysburg Reunion. Although this event was focused on reconciliation more so than theatrics. Decades would pass on, and by the end of the Second World War, interest in the Civil War grew. This interest would peak in the early 1960s, when the Civil War centennial sparked a surge in reenactments. Communities formed reenactor units that aligned with real historical regiments, and by the 1990s, reenactments became a major tourist attraction for former battlefields all across America. Gettysburg was no exception, as some of the largest reenactments in history took place here. The 135th anniversary in 1998 saw about 20,000 reenactors perform in front of 50,000 spectators. By the dawn of the new millennium, Gettysburg was seeing over 1 million visitors per year. Despite Gettysburg becoming a pilgrimage site for history enthusiasts and reenactors across the world, the town took a different turn entering the 2010s. For the first time, reenactor numbers began to dwindle. Fewer younger people were participating, and those who stuck around were significantly aging. A divide would crack further in the second half of the 2010s, when Confederate symbols across America began to be further scrutinized by the public. Confederate reenactors were now being pressured by the public, and the emphasis on Southern heritage and the role slavery had in the Civil War was now a major point of contention. This, combined with the funding issues and declining turnout, led to the final official Gettysburg reenactment in 2019. And yet, somehow, reenactors came back to Gettysburg. The pandemic in the early 2020s allowed the reenacting community some time to amp up their game. New organizers stepped in, historical immersion was emphasized, crowds got smaller, but the passion got deeper. The reenactments may not be like Woodstock anymore, but that doesn't mean the story has ended. I came to Gettysburg to meet the people who make this story possible. Why these people drive for hours, sleep in tents, and relive an over 160-year-old battle? I guess you and I are about to find out. After the 2019 reenactment, the events moved on over to the quiet Daniel Lady Farm, just a few miles east of Gettysburg. Despite the reenactment site being very new, the fellas here come from all eras of reenactment history.
I started around 2020, like when the pandemic hit.
Since 2001.
I just started in April.
I've been a reenactor since '94.
You also won't believe where some of these people come from.
I'm from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Well, if you're from New Jersey like I am.
That guy right there is from Maryland. This couple over here is from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Michigan. I met a man from China that can play Dixie on a banjo. He's from China.
No matter where these folks are from, Daniel Lady Farm has a way of bringing these people together. It's not just a reenactment site, it's part of the real battlefield.
Field over here at the Daniel Lady Farm, which was an American Civil War hospital. where wounded soldiers from both sides collectively came here to be treated in the barn and the family farmhouse.
Now that you've learned the history, it's time to step into it. Come on over and step inside to the Union camp. Here, reenactors live and breathe the 1860s. For this reenactment, my loyalty is with Battery K, 1st Ohio Light Artillery out of the Mid-Ohio Valley. This battery really did fight in the Battle of Gettysburg, and they even received their own monument. Over 160 years later, the spirit of the 1st Ohio still lives on in the hearts of these fellows, including Gary Hoover, who's been reenacting since 1994.
There was a woman I was interested in, and she initially wasn't interested in me, but her son, when he was 11 years old, was interested in doing some reenacting, and he was a big Civil War buff, and I thought, you know what, I'm a history guy too, and I wouldn't mind getting involved. So when I started taking him to reenactments, then she warmed up and we're married. We've been married going on 25 years in October.
Gary's story reminds me that everyone here has their own reason for coming to Gettysburg. Mine might be different, but the next step is the same for us all. Getting that old Union uniform on.
Try these boots on.
I know you're gonna dig this. First, you slip into your brogans. These babies are stiff, heavy, and made for blisters. Then comes on the jacket. That's grade A wool right there, baby. Perfect for July in Pennsylvania. Now this part right here I can only show the members of my fan club, but you can guess that I'm throwing on some wool pants. Look at that waistline. It's like 1863 up in here. And here comes the final action. A good old hat for a good old country boy. So this is gonna be my new outfit right here. Gonna go out to dinner in this thing, take all the ladies out. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
I'm okay with this.
He looks Civil War, man. Yeah. He looks Civil War.
He does. It's got
I'm
the
ready to
hair
fight.
and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Show them
Elliot,
the
right?
coats. Yeah.
Elliot, Bill.
This place has everything.
After getting my new threads, I wandered down to the Sutlers. This section of Daniel Lady Farm is home to vendors and artisans who set up shop just like they would have in the 1860s. It's here where you'll find civilian reenactors like Allie.
I educate a little bit on what the women would be wearing and just the day-to-day life that a woman would have during this time period.
In between meeting folks like Allie, you'll also have a chance to meet folks like Huck.
People name me that because I'm from the South. It's short for Huckleberry. I don't really like the name, but what I do here is I sell clothes, I sell swords, I sell black powder to all the reenactors. And so what a sutler is, during the actual Civil War, a sutler would travel around with the actual regiments in the Army, and they would sell them things that the Army didn't give them. And that's what we do. I've been camping here. We'll be camping here for 10 days. And we sleep on military cots. We ain't got no AC or nothing. Before I did this job, the way I got into this job is because I was a traveler and a camper. And hot freight trains, and I hitchhiked all across America, and I taught people how to hot freight trains. When my boss said, "Hey, do you know how to camp? Can you travel?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I'm a train hopper and a hitchhiker from Alabama." And he said, "Well, I'll hire you."
Huck's story goes to show you that you never can tell where life's gonna take you. And right now, I think I'm about to take you to the battlefield. When I came back to the camp, the tone began to shift. The laughter slowed, the soldiers suited up, and just like that, we were getting ready for battle. For these men, their motivations for getting on that field come from the heart,
Watching the Confederates splatter across the field,
and from the soul.
It's also no excuse just to camp and stay away from the women in my family. Just have a little break.
But with everything in place, it was time for us to hop on our wagons and head straight to the field. No scripts, no second takes. It's now or never. And during this ride, Some of the messages that I received during my time in Gettysburg reverberated in the back of my head.
What I'd like to say for all these people, everybody out here thinks all these people are some kind of conservative rednecks or racist or something. These people are history nerds. Everyone you see here that's in a uniform, they'll be doing World War II and fighting under an American flag tomorrow.
As we made our way closer towards the battlefield, it all started to feel so real.
Please join, because if we don't start now and learn everything that these older guys are able to teach us, it's gonna die out, and it's gonna be a dying hobby very shortly.
Of the 800 soldiers that walked onto that field, I was the only one that came with a camera. This is a point of view you may seldom see in your life.
Anybody got pliers?
And in the stillness of it all, it hit me. We weren't just plain soldiers. We were keeping history alive. It sure his smell of grazing in the grass.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it?
What a trip! Just watching as the world goes.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it?
There are so many goofy things to see while grazing in the grass.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it?
Flowers with colors bright, making everything out of sight in the grass.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it?
The sun beaming down between the leaves.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig
And the
it?
birds darting in and out of the tree.
Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it? Everything here is so clear, you can see it.
And
Everything here is so real, you can feel it.
What's the most important lesson we learned from the Civil War? And that's not to do it again.
Who doesn't love the Confederate flag and all that it stands for?